Welcome back to LaxRatsTV. This is episode 1 of Sunday Strings, where we're going to be bringing this old game-used, decade-old Will Manny head back to life. So it's a pretty cool story of how I got it, so let's get it started. I figured I wanted to use white mesh, but I didn't have any white mesh. So right, I'm using the best I've got right now, which I think will turn out pretty good, is some navy blue Hero 3.0 mesh. I've been using for my gamers, I use the Hero 3.0 striker, and I absolutely love it. I just strung this one up last week, but I've been trying Hero 4, but right now what I've got is Hero 3.0 striker in navy blue. Hopefully with the Cannons red combined with the navy blue, it'll give it a good Cannons look and feel. All right, I guess while I'm getting this started, I'll tell the story of how I found myself in possession of this head. This thing's rattling around a little bit. I'm just gonna screw it in. So obviously I've been a Cannons fan my whole life. Lacrosse has been a big part of my life for a long time. So I've been a Cannons fan for a long time. They used to play back when Will Manny was playing out of Boston for the first time. They were playing out of Harvard Stadium, which is I live in Newton, Mass, which is 10 minutes from here. So I loved going to the games. My dad would take me to a lot of the games, and I just get to be a lax rat. I was a lax rat in the making back then, but yeah, I know. And then somehow Will Manny got connected with Newton Youth Lacrosse, which obviously I played forever, and they got him to come do some coaching with us. We had Cannons guys come occasionally to coach some of our practices, some of our select teams and stuff like that. So Will started coaching us a little bit, and I developed a relationship with him. Obviously, I idolized the guy as a little lefty attackman at the time, so I thought our games were pretty similar, and I tried to take a lot from his game back then and still today. But after one of the practices, Will pulled this out of his car, and he just gave it to me. And I mean, you can imagine how excited I was. You can see how cool it is. We've got Boston Cannons across the top with the logo. You have the number 0 all over it because that's his number. You've got the ball stopper logo. It says Manny right on the inner lining, and then 2 Chainz on the back, which I never asked him about, but I assume 2 Chainz is one of his favorite rappers. But yeah, that was sort of there were a couple seasons there where I got to get coached by Will, and he helped me train. So obviously I've been a big Will Manny fan ever since, and yeah, so let's get stringing. I'm gonna throw on some music and start stringing this thing, and then I'll check in when I'm done with the top string, and we'll continue talking. All right, done with the top string. Let's move on to the sidewalls. I'm not gonna lie, this thing's a Brine Clutch 2X. Total blast from the past. Haven't heard anything about Brine for about a decade. Other than Nate Kabir uses a Brine shaft in practice half the time. So shout out Nate for that. But so I had to look up a Clutch 2X pattern. So we'll see. I'm gonna copy some pattern that I found on Inside Lacrosse from. Let's look at this thing. Mid pocket. Hell yeah. From. I suppose it's from August 22nd, 2012. So I'll copy this thing. I'll copy this pattern and I'll pull it out, I'll play some wall ball and shoot around with it, and we'll see how it throws, and yeah. It's funny because I talked about, I talked about Will, obviously, being a bit of a role model of a player for me when I was growing up. When he gave me his head, it was the first time I ever tried stringing because it didn't have any strings on it. So I was playing around with it, and I actually haven't. I unstrung it. I unstrung it like last summer, the string job I had from like when I was like 10 years old, and I mean I just looped all the holes. It threw horribly, but I loved messing around with it. I never used it in a game, but I wish I would have. I might have to use this in men's league now. But we'll see. I'll get into the sidewall now. When I'm done, I'll show you guys the pattern that I used, and then I'll play some wall ball, shoot around with it, and hopefully it turns out well. All right, catch you in a few. All right, sidewall 1 done. 1 more to go, then the bottom string. It's an interesting pattern. I'm curious to see if I'm gonna like it or not, but yeah, let's get right back into it. All right, both 2 of 2 sidewalls done. I'm gonna lace up this bottom string and then we'd start throwing with it. All right, all strung up. I'm gonna, before I put in the shooters, I'm gonna go grab a baseball bat or something so I can pound it a little bit, and then I'll be back. I'll throw in the shooters and we can throw around with it. All right. I couldn't find a baseball bat, but I have my sister's field hockey stick, so I'm gonna unscrew this. I'm gonna pound it a little bit, throw a softball in it because it's a little pinched, and then I'll throw the shooters in and we will shoot around with it and see how she throws. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna screw this back on, throw the shooters on, and then we'll shoot around with it. I haven't decided what kind of shooters I want to do. I think I'm gonna do, I'm a 3-shooter guy, but I think for this one, Manny is not a 3-shooter guy. He used to rock the U's, but obviously he doesn't anymore. I'm just gonna do 2 across the top. I'll just throw 1 in there. It'll look like be a little blend of Marcus Holman because he only uses 1 shooter. And if we need to throw more, we'll throw more in. All right, the shooter's in there. I'm gonna chop these strings, put the finishing touches in it, and throw the softball in. All right, we're gonna let the softball sit in here for a minute. I'll go set up the net, and then we will shoot around with it and see how it throws. I think, I don't know if I'm gonna love it, but we'll see. It reminds me of the pattern Tucker Wade uses. Shout out Tuck. All right, this is the final product. looks pretty good, honestly. The colorway is awesome. Got the 2 chains popping in the back. The colorway is exactly how I was hoping it would come out. It really looks like a stick one of the Cannons guys would use. But let's throw around with it. I think it's gonna whip a little more than I like usually. Let's see, hopefully it's too tall. The lighting's a little bad. I got a couple balls here. All right. Oh, that is, ooh. All right. I was expecting it to whip a little more, but this is actually perfect. It's pretty pure, honestly. I think the harder mesh is, oh, this thing is perfect. I actually love this. Oh, that, oh, not the target. It already went down. Great mess around stick with a great story behind it. It looks beautiful. Shout out Will Manny in his big debut coming back with a hat trick last weekend. Shout out Will for giving me this head back in the day. I don't think he knows how big of an impact he had on my young career. Growing up, he was a guy I really looked up to. So shout out Will. Hopefully you're watching this and brought your head back to life. Hopefully it's got a couple more goals in it, before it breaks, because it is a little flimsy. But thanks for tuning into LaxRatsTV. This was Sunday Strings episode 1. Bringing this Will Manny game used head back to life, and go Cannons this weekend.